What's going on, people? It's your man the YB. Once again, big shout out to my doggy 31BT for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, Johnny Bash. Listen, man. Listen, pork. The pork here, pork corner, hanging out the back of Lawrence Okolie and Gallagher. This guy stinks. Lawrence Stinkolie, man. Oh, no, but he was weight drained at cruiserweight. He's rubbish. Yeah, he can't punch. Dubois plastered LERENA. Was LERENA paid off by Frank Warren? I don't know, allegedly. But either way, man, this fight was stinky. Yes, LERENA is a bit of a sparring partner, like the commentators like to mention. But the way they were sucking Lawrence off, yeah, the few times LERENA let his hands go, if LERENA had to come in there to win, if, I don't know, let's say LERENA had kids, yeah, and some you get the point. Yeah, they've snatched him and they're saying, listen, man, you got to go in there and fight. LERENA would have punched Okolie up. The few times LERENA got going, Okolie was like, he's panicking, didn't know what to do. There was very few, probably 3 or 4 times in the whole fight. The rest of the time, LERENA's standing there having a look, no ambition. I get it. Okolie allegedly punches hard, but listen, when you're a heavy bag, look at Jarrell Miller versus Dubois. When you're fighting a heavy bag who's not doing much, you should be able to stop them after so many rounds. Okolie was puffing as well. Gallagher was like, get your breath back after 3 hours, like, gasping. Yeah? About I want Caballero. Caballero stops Okolie in 6 or 7. Seriously. He stops him in 6 or 7. You guys no good, man. Okolie's in there. It was like a sparring session for both of them. We hear about this big, yeah, my name's the pork. We got to give him credit because he's knocking everyone. Who's he knocked out? What? Hussein Mohammed. Why did he knock LERENA out? Oh, pork will say, but he was going to knock him out, but he wasn't throwing his hands. Punch through his gloves then. I've seen Dubois do it with Miller. Wear him out. LERENA was in first gear. That's not Okolie's fault. LERENA should have come to fight. But still, Okolie, he's useless, honestly. Even with a man doing nothing, all he can do is cling on. Clinging on. Oh, but I was weight drained and now I can let my hands go. Where was the hands letting go? He was doing this thing where he was like a sparrow. He was having a look and then touching, really light and playful. And you can say, well, he's boxing their head off. All the commentators were, yeah? Sucking Stinkolie off. Oh, Stinky. Lawrence Oh, Stinky. Yeah? They were sucking him off. Oh, I've never seen it before. They were saying, he's going straight to the top of the heavyweight division. He's going to the top of the Stinkinator division is where he's gone to. I'm not even just bashing him. I thought if Okolie clipped LERENA, I'd have given him credit for it. Yeah, if he was super ferocious like they were claiming, I've changed him now, he don't hug no more. Look at this, listen people, this is the highlights. This is round 2 of a 3-minute highlight. Bear in mind, the highlights don't start. Well, it's about 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes of highlights, right? That's what they have in the zone. It's a 30-minute fight, 3 minutes of highlights. I've just clicked randomly, and they're clinching. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, they're not even engaging. Oh, this is the hot people. This is 3 minutes of highlights. This is what it was like. And LERENA wasn't much better. But the point is, when you got a heavy bag, I'd say it was about 60-40. Okolie was doing 60% of the clinching. But LERENA wasn't much better. But again, Okolie's the one who is the A-side / he's supposed to be the one who's dangerous. And yet, his only defense on the inside was to clinch. Look at this here, look. Look at this, look, I'm just clicking through now. Oh, YB, you've set up the time points. I have not. You've seen the fight. Completely useless. And that was part of the reason why it's not, I guess you can, well, based on the current rules, you can't blame Okolie, it's in the rules, so you're allowed to clinch. People, it stinks. I don't know why it's allowed, I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's a factor in boxing for. It should be anything but clinching. Effectively, I don't get what part that is of boxing. Oh, you can cling on to someone once you're on the inside, once you fall in and you're shitting your pants. Why is that? What is that? Why is that cool? Lennox Lewis used to do it. I don't get why it's a cool thing though. Oh, but Lennox did it. But why is it cool for? It stinks. The fans don't want to see it, and it stifles the fight when you watch Tua versus Lennox. It stifles it. A bigger man shouldn't be able to just cling on to someone. A bigger man with a 60-foot reach shouldn't be able to just and stink the place out. No one wants to watch it. Yeah, if you can't fight on the inside, that's on you. It's not, oh, well, I'll just cling on to you then. That's what it shouldn't be, but it is. People love it. Oh, maybe it's Queensberry, and that means you can just cling on to another man every 2 minutes. Okolie would put a combination out and clinch. Oh, baby, oh, commentator, oh, yes. Oh, formidable. I swear down. Oh, he's a formidable opponent. His style works for him. This is the problem with the commentators as well. You, man, yeah. I get it, I'm broke, so, oh, maybe I'm making however much I'm making from the zone. Yeah? But when you get up there to the pearly gates, and the boxing gods look at you and hear the things you're saying, oh, yeah, it's really good it was. This life is only temporary, you clowns. And they're gonna play back all your corny record. Oh, yeah, you know, his style works for him. His style is shit. Honestly, it sucks. And it pisses me off. I actually had to pay for the pay-per-view because my screencast wasn't working. And this is the first fight I watched of the pay-per-view. It was stinky. Yeah? And I'm not doing it. I'm not saying, come on here to say, oh, I love saying the same bars again and again. It was rubbish, man. Seriously, both of them. LERENA, for me, was actually the better fighter. As crazy as that sounds. Okolie was at his limit. He was pushed to his limit. And this is the thing what I'm saying. Look at Bill Smith. What Bill Smith had was that he came to fight. He came to win. I'm telling you now, a few times LERENA would move his head, and I think this fight was on short notice as well, but a few times LERENA would move his head and Okolie was like, "Ruh!" Yeah? I'm telling you now, if LERENA had to come in there with the mentality of Bill Smith, he'd have beat Okolie in a similar fashion. He didn't, so that's not Okolie's fault, but that's the point. Yeah, the first man who sticks it on Okolie. And LERENA is known to be a bit of a sparring partner. He's known to be a bit like that. He's not. I think allegedly he was kind of like a bridgerweight. I think he was. Yeah, that's not a real division. I think he was bridgerweight champion or something like that. But he's never been known for having massive ambition. He's kind of brought in as a B-side. He fought that guy who Fabio Wardley knocked out. I completely forgot his name now. That's another New Zealand dude or something like that, but you get the point. He's always brought in and he's seen as a B-side, and he fought tonight like a B-side. I think it was quite short notice as well for LERENA. Not that it would have mattered, but that cardio does make mice of all men. If you've come into a fight, yeah, you need sublime cardio as a pressure fighter to be able to. LERENA needed a quick assault. He was kind of plodding in, and you'd notice in the last 10 or 15 seconds of quite a few of the rounds, LERENA would all of a sudden start slipping and sliding and doing so. I think that to me signaled he's worried about his gas tank. Not necessarily, of course, no one wants to be hit clean by Okolie, but when someone's only fighting the last 10-15 seconds, it tells to me they're worried about, I don't want to blow my load. Now, is it a case he was completely fit and still? Is it the case he's completely fit but he still just... But if you were completely fit and you were just shitting yourself of getting clipped by Okolie, you wouldn't have a go in the last 10 seconds at all. You'd just stand there, as we've seen before, like, for example, is it Berlanga versus Canelo? There's better examples where people don't turn up to win. Oh, Jermell Charlo versus Canelo. He never had to go, right? There was a few occasions, and even them occasions, they were some of the most dominant parts for me. When LERENA would get going a bit, and Lawrence would look out of shape, and he'd have to clinch on or do something else, and no, I don't rate Okolie at all. So we can forget this narrative that he's a massive puncher, because LERENA's been flatlined before by Dubois. Yeah, Okolie was hitting him as well. But this also shows, we talked about this in my last video, but this does also show how effective proper defense is, folks. Yeah? This shows how effective. Whatever you say, LERENA reminds me, as like a B-level Canelo. When his head's moving, it looks pretty good, It looks pretty good, and he's like this tight. A lot of man could take a lot from LERENA. He doesn't have the heart, he doesn't have the oomph, but his base, he's got a solid base. He can get through. Being able to get through fights with top-level opposition. You then need the A-sideness to being able to win them and actually have a go. But he's got a solid base. It's a shame that he hasn't got more ambition. And before the fight, LERENA was saying, yeah, I've been a B-side, but now I'm coming to win. You can argue, maybe you'd have to give Okolie credit. Maybe he felt the power. Which is probably partly true, but it can't be that hard because you'd be knocked out, right? If you'd have felt the power that much, but the power would stop you opening up. You'd be like, oh, I'm in my box now. But this is the guy, LERENA. He was never the guy. Let's see if he can put Caballero in his box. How about that? Yeah, we'll see who's in. We'll see who's in what box. Because listen, Okolie was fighting all at his pace. He was probably troubled for out of 30 minutes. I'd probably say about a minute he had something to think about in a 30-minute fight. He was goosed. He was puffing. He needs to lose 15, 20 pounds. His belly's hanging over when he's sitting down on the chair. That adding weight rubbish. His feet had never been the most coordinated. The praying mantis, Deontay Wilder basketball legs, fit. But now he's got that big jollof rice gut hanging over his trousers now. He's even more ungainly and uncoordinated. He needs to lose that weight, man. And I think he's lost a lot of his speed. His right hand, I used to watch it and you wouldn't even see it coming. Now, he's obviously a pretty quick right hand, but he doesn't look as snappy. Naturally, he's not going to get quicker as he's put on 40, 50, 60 pounds of dead weight. But I think it's fair to say it hasn't added to the power. And Okolie, LERENA weren't throwing here, but Okolie was nervous about what was coming back. Because if he wasn't, he'd have been laying it on thick. We've seen that guy, Boots Ennis versus Stanionis. Stanionis comes in with his hands on his head, and Boots is letting his hands go. Because when a man has his hands on his head here, it's good defensive responsibility, but on the flip side, it makes you a target. Yeah? It's actually easier to punch when someone's got their hands on their head, because you know where the shots are coming from. If they want to uppercut, they've got to drop their hand and come up again. It's slower. If your hands are down here, you can uppercut from down there and whatever else. So when the hands are here, you've got a fixed target. Why wasn't Okolie just butchering him? Oops. Okolie was scared to death himself for someone coming back. And also, Okolie's got no inside game at all. That's why Okolie was at his limit in this fight. With nothing coming back, Okolie was at his limit. If Okolie was top world level, he'd have stopped LERENA. You can't win a top heavyweight fight. Well, you can't win a top heavyweight fight on points with a guy just standing there like this. I'm trying to think of the last example. You could survive someone. If you look at AJ, for example. You put AJ in there with someone who just stands there like this, not throwing their hands. Think about AJ in his prime, which is where Okolie more or less should be now. No one got through a fight with AJ just standing there like a heavy bag. It just punched right through you, right? And that's what... It's not like, IB, but AJ got caught by Ruiz. Ruiz was throwing his hands, to be fair to him. Ruiz would catch and counter. LERENA was not catching and countering, nothing. His feet, I don't know. His feet were so slow. I think maybe the southpaw element made it harder for him. When you've got southpaw versus southpaw or orthodox versus orthodox, even if you've got slow feet, you can kind of get into the game. Because it lines up. You can get your jab off and move your feet in. But with a southpaw versus orthodox, which is the case here, your jab don't really line up so well. So it's more of an effort to get in. You got to jump to the outside of their leg, and when you got someone gainly like Lawrence, he can pull back or he can step back, it's hard work. But he should have been ready for that, bro. Was he fit enough? We don't know. It's a shame though. He's got good potential, he's got good fundamentals, he just don't have no ambition. But as far as Okolie is concerned, the pork, yeah, forget about it. Forget about Stinkolie. He's no good, honestly. He's no good. And the first proper heavyweight he fights, you put him in there with anyone, really. I think you put him in there with Zhang. Even Dubois. That would be a good one now at this point. Dubois versus Okolie would be good. I'd still have Dubois though. Well, I don't know. If you can ping that right hand. It's an interesting fight. You need someone with fundamentals. I'm not sure Dubois has the fundamentals to deal with Okolie. Zhang would do it. Caballero would do it. Usyk would box circles round him. He's not in that conversation though. Parker would box Okolie up as well. I'm trying to think who he beats. He probably beats AJ at this point. Fury would box him up, although Fury's sucker for a right hand, for a Wilder right hand. But I don't think Okolie would want to throw his hand. That's the thing about it. Okolie looked good tonight because the guy wasn't throwing his hands. I think the minute you start throwing your hands with this guy, as we saw with Billum Smith, if you really want to fight, his back end will fall out. That's the truth. Never mind when he starts getting tired. When he knows you're coming to fight and he knows, like Billum Smith did. In Billum Smith, Okolie felt it after a few rounds. Oh, he's not scared of my punch. Once you get that into his head, I can't even say he'll turn into the Stinkinator then. He was already the Stinkinator tonight, right? It's not going to turn into it. He was winning. How can he be winning a fight at a canter and still? Oh, every trainer that gets Okolie, they say, Yeah, we've fixed him now. We've fixed him. Oh, no. That was because of the weight. Oh, I've trained him how not to do it. You joking? It's in his DNA. That's why his name is Okolie. Lawrence O. Stinky. So, Pork, stop glazing, man. This is for the access. Stop, the Pork, listen, man. Stop glazing for the access, man. This stink. This stinked. And if it was anyone else, if anyone else was performing like this, you'd call it out. But you're hanging at the back of Joe Gallagher. Yeah? Looking for the put on. So I don't want to see, I've been saying this for years, I don't want to see Okolie no more in these kind of fights. This is why he picks these fights. Why don't he fight Riakporhe? I said this. The Riakporhe fight was scheduled. Why ain't he fighting Riakporhe? Right? You were supposed to fight him, you ducked it, and you dig LERENA up. What was it? Oh, I want someone higher. What, LERENA? Lawrence Okolie thrives, this fight sucked, but he thrives in principle when he's fighting a bum. Yeah? He don't want someone who's coming to win. And Riakporhe, because of the beef and whatnot, would probably turn up to win, or he's more likely to turn up to win than 4 weeks. LERENA, I think Riakporhe was happy to take the fight as well on late notice. Why is he ducking that for? That tells you the mentality. Oh, I'm looking for bigger fighters. What? You're telling me Riakporhe versus Okolie is smaller than Okolie versus... No one knows LERENA like that. LERENA is known as a B-side. Riakporhe does have some A-side. He's challenged for a world title before, right? For example. He don't have that at all. So I want to know where this guy goes next. My bet would be it'll be a stiff. He's calling out Dillian, see what I mean? Calling out Dillian White, trying to pick on Dillian White now he's washed up. Is that these are all the kind of angles he's on. Oh, pick on some old man. Pick on some B-level dude. He always needs that psychological edge. He don't want to have a go. Yeah? Oh, and allegedly he was calling out Caballero. Are you joking? Who believes that? Oh, I wanted to fight Caballero, but so I fought LERENA. Come on, man. Come on. What about Okolie? Okolie would be a good scrap as well, I reckon. That's a Okolie versus Okolie. Who have I got? I got Okolie. Oh, if you tell me, I'd still have Okolie winning though, because Okolie would put Stinkolie in his box. Yeah. He'd plod onto him. He would plod. If he thought a Jagball was shook, wait till you see Okolie in there. Okolie would even out of shape would punch up Okolie. Okolie would be scared to death. Mate, that's a fair level fight. Lawrence, you're not a world title challenger level. You don't get to world title challenger level, Pork, by knocking out Hussein Mohammed and going life and death with LERENA on points and stinking the place out. That's not world title level challenger. You're at the Okolie. You're not at Caballero level either. You're at the Okolie, Riakporhe, them kind of ones. Who else is there? There's some other guys knocking around. Fabio Wardley. I don't think Wardley's a world. I know he's supposed to be on paper, but he's not there. Okolie, Efe Jaguar, soft body Sanchez. I don't even forget about soft body Sanchez, but you get the point. There's levels to this game, man. You're not at that level, nowhere near it. So don't play with me. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Some people stop it. Johnny.